Hey everyone, so today I'm going to be talking about the documentary Kiss the Ground, which really shifted how I think about climate change and things like that. So yeah, it's narrated by Woody Harrelson, and what I love about it is that it focuses on something we actually never really think about when it comes to climate change, which is the soil. So the two main ideas that I got from this documentary is that one, healthy soil can actually pull carbon out of the air and like keep it underground, and then two is that regenerative agriculture, basically like farming that works with nature instead of against it, might be one of the biggest solutions that we already have to fixing climate change. So yeah, for me personally, the urgency of climate change feels more real every year because like from me being from LA, for example, like the wildfires and things like that, or like flooding problems and heat waves. And this film really gives me hope that the solutions don't have to come from just technology alone, but sometimes they start right under our feet. So let's get right into it. So one of the things I appreciate most about this documentary is how it makes complex science seem like simple and visual. So it explains like how plants use carbon dioxide or like absorb it from the air and use it for photosynthesis and send some of the carbon down through the roots into the soil. And this process is called carbon sequestration. So yeah, and according to research from the USDA and the Rodale Institute, regenerative processes like cover cropping, no-till farming, composting, and rotational grazing can increase carbon soil levels by 1 to 3 tons per hectare each year. That's significant because it means farmers could help offset part of our global emissions just by changing how they grow food. So yeah, the film also shows how like regenerative agriculture improves more than just carbon storage. It rebuilds biodiversity and increases water retention, and even helps farmers become more resistant to droughts and floods. And these are all problems only getting worse because of climate change. But I also think that it's important to look at the challenges that the film doesn't dwell on. Like switching to regenerative systems isn't cheap and not easy. So farmers who are like less rich than like big farms, like family-owned farms, like it's hard because they might have to invest in new equipment, learn new methods, and often wait years before like their soil can fully recover. So yeah, that plus the current agricultural economy, it only rewards high yields and cheap prices, not soil health. Economically, that means a lot of small farmers can't afford the transition without government or consumer support. So like without additional help, they won't be able to make the switch. And there is also limited research on how much carbon that soil can store before it reaches like a new equilibrium, meaning that we might be overestimating how much of this like climate change problem we can really fix naturally. Visually, the film is very beautiful to look at. It has a lot of drone shots of like landscape and time-lapse imagery, and a lot of hopeful narration. Like it really gets you pumped, you know. But it does have like a clear advocacy tone. Like it's not trying to be neutral at all, and it's trying to inspire people to have hope for what the future can hold in fixing the climate change problems that we have. The optimistic tone of this movie like makes science feel empowering and less intimidating. Like especially as somebody who's not really a super sciencey person myself. Overall, the best part of this documentary was that it doesn't leave you feeling helpless. Like it makes you think like, what can you actually do to help? So on a personal level, like the simplest thing we can do is start caring for the soil around us, composting even on a small scale, like how we do on campus, like all the food from like the dining hall gets composted and all that. This helps return nutrients to the ground instead of sending food waste to the landfills where it releases methane into the air, and it's not good. So yeah, and also buying foods from local farmers markets or using regenerative or organic methods also helps shift the demand from the industrial agriculture that's also contributing to the climate change, like greenhouse gases in the air. At the community level, I would say cities and schools can create composting programs like plant community gardens, and support urban farming. These local systems not only reduce emission, but they also make people connect to where their food comes from, you know, because there's nothing better than eating some food that you knew that you grew your own. For example, in LA and New York, they have launched municipal composting initiatives that already divert thousands of tons of organic waste from landfills, and that's a very measurable impact, not just like meaningless or misdirected energy, if that makes sense. On like the policy side of it, governments can make the biggest difference by, instead of subsidizing chemical fertilizers or industrial monocrops, they could incentivize farmers who build soil carbon, protect pollinators, and manage water sustainability. The USDA has already started piloting programs that pay farmers for carbon sequestration, and that's a very big step in the right direction to like incentivize farmers who are doing their part to make a step in the right direction. This film really changed how I view climate change, and I used to feel like big corporations or politicians had like the power to make the real change, but after watching this documentary, like it gave me some hope that even myself as like just a random person in my community, I can do my part to make the soil beneath my feet like powerful enough to make an impact on the world for everybody. So yeah, in conclusion, To Me Kiss the Ground isn't just a film about like farming or sustainable agricultural. It's about hope that we can fix what we messed up on the planet. Like we can turn over a new leaf and make sure climate change doesn't consume all of us. Thanks for watching, and remember, every handful of healthy soil has the power to change the world.